Hello everyone, it is me, GamePenguin21, and today is going to be a very different style of video. I, for one, just wanted to get this out there because with all the gaming news and stuff happening, I decided that this week we're going to take a step back and look at the smaller things, look at the bigger picture, I guess. And it all really started with this one little tweet from an account that I've never, ever heard of. But of course, before we get started, a little bit of shilling before we really get into the video and rant proper. Number one, again, looking to basically get into the 1K club, I guess, for subscribers. So if you would please like, comment, and subscribe, that would be the most amazing thing in the world. It'd really be helpful. Number two, more music is coming. Most likely next month I'm going to release a single. I was going to make a music video for it, but I don't think that I will be able to do that, really. We're already like a week or two-ish in, and I don't think that I have any plans for it because I can't get people together. But overall, I think that I'm going to release it anyway. It's a special track that I was working on, so hope you like it. That'll be on the YouTube as well, so don't worry. If you want any more of my music, links down to bandcamp in the description. Yeah. 3, I also stream on Twitch, mainly over the weekends. I don't really make the announcements here anymore because, well, I just keep forgetting to, and I keep forgetting to schedule all of those announcements, so yeah. Anyway, with all that being said, let's get into this video proper. So, what sent me down this rabbit hole to create this rant video in the first place? Well, put simply, it was this tweet here by T. Kim. I don't really know how to pronounce this name. Saying, Palworld is outselling Suicide Squad, a AAA game title that took over a decade to make with hundreds of developers. The gaming industry is doomed. Now, when I originally saw this tweet, I find it interesting the response that it got from the people that was there. There was a ton of people in the comments and stuff saying, oh no, the gaming industry is doomed because an indie game outsold a AAA game, oh no. Or the people that said that same sentence but in a more ironic sense. Some people said it was good, some people said it was, some people are delivering shit, so you get shit. All sorts of stuff flying around. But to me, looking at this from a realism perspective, I don't think that the gaming industry is really doomed. I think that Palworld specifically, and the recent, I guess 3-4-ish years, I would say, from Elden Ring to now, so I guess 3-ish years, I don't know. All of that time has been seeing great big shifts in the gaming market. And I'm not talking like, oh, certain games are getting more attention. It's like, no. Not just that. Big players and big actual slip-ups and screw-ups have been happening all over the industry. And it sucks. It really sucks. But okay, so maybe it's just the gaming industry. Well, no. It's other industries as well, absolutely. So we're going through that sort of recession-era thing. But focusing in on the gaming industry specifically, why is it that AAA has been held to such a big and high trophy? Why has it just been handed a lot of the trophies and stuff and been pandered to? Why is that? Well, I decided to do a little bit of digging and found out that the AAA gaming space is just marketing. It's really it. And this is speaking as someone who actually has a degree in marketing. Well, more specifically, a minor in marketing. But still, I am specifically trained in the area of which to sell you shit, essentially. Now, that might be like an appeal to false authority, as I haven't actually worked in the space. I just know of the tricks of the trade because I've learned from people with experience. So, yeah. But overall, I can say with at least somewhat confidence that AAA gaming, right, is just marketing. Now, I think to really get to the root as to why that's the case, we have to go back to what the hell AAA gaming even means. A lot of people might not know this, because I didn't know this, and I've been in this gaming space for a long-ass time now. But AAA actually doesn't come from the gaming world. Yeah, weird, right? It actually comes from insurance. So, from what at least Wikipedia has said, AAA used to be a standard in insurance, in the sense that you have a grading system that's AAA being the top of the top dogs, the gold standard for anything having to do with insurance. And overall, that's how it operates. At least, again, in the insurance world. And they decided to kind of take that and repurpose it for the gaming world, saying that AAA, AA, and Indie are 3 different levels of quality when it comes to video games. And for the last, 10, 15-ish years, I would say, it's kind of been that way. Again, I'm unsure as to when it specifically entered the gaming zeitgeist, because to me, it's always existed as long as I've been alive, so yeah. But at the same time, AAA gaming itself was always seen as the amazing gold standard, the thing that everyone should strive to be. And yet, there were outliers. These outliers included games like The Binding of Isaac and Super Meat Boy, which were indie games that were not necessarily AAA. Minecraft, which was definitely an indie game, but became a AAA game over time, somehow. And a lot of other games out there that I'm probably just not remembering. Overall, all of these games are just video games, and yet some are considered AAA, some are considered indie, some are considered AA. And the question that I have is, what's the difference? No, seriously, strip away AAA gaming, strip away all the marketing and stuff, look at the actual games, and tell me how many of these are indie, double, and AAA. There's really no way of knowing. Because that's not how genres work when you really look at it. The AAA gaming space is in pretty dire straits because they've shit the bed so badly that it's now starting to stink. And guess what? People in the consumer's world are now starting to see that shit. And they are getting tired of it. Because they've realized that they don't have to keep eating it. The fact that Palworld, a game made by people who had very little experience, who were basically scraping by, trying to figure out what the fuck they were doing with this game, that then just exploded so quickly onto the scene to create some sort of amazing, beautiful, and downright buggiest game that I've seen in a while. And yeah, certainly, it's not as buggy as other games, but it does have some bugs that are a little bit infuriating. And it's not the buggiest game, that was more of a hyperbole. What I mean here is that this game is outselling a massive big budget AAA game. And that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Certainly, for Rocksteady, absolutely, that's a bad thing. It's a huge kick up the backside there. Why? Well, because Rocksteady should know better. At least, I hope so. Most of these AAA devs should, right? If they're the gold standard. And yet, games like Elden Ring, games like Baldur's Gate 3, games like Hi-Fi Rush, games like BattleBit Remastered, games like fucking Palworld. All of these games, right? Every single one of them have not really been super original. They haven't been reinventing the wheel each time to create some sort of new gimmick. They've taken the bits and pieces of things that have worked in the past, remixed it, revamped it, put it together, and then just game. To me, that's super righteous. Taking what was working about the entirety of the industry is what's meant to by art. That's the whole thing with art as well. Again, seeing as how I have both graphic designer and marketing knowledge here, the thing with art, it's the same way. Taking what works, seeing how the public reacts to your work, evolving and changing it when it suits the person creating the art. And yeah, certainly, you might not create the masterpiece or the Mona Lisa every time, but you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be looking to recreate the Mona Lisa that you made or the magnum opus of your career every single time, upping in the ante completely and utterly until the end of time, because there's an upper glass ceiling limit that's impossible to break. And certainly, you can break through it if you really want to. And yeah, the ceiling is made of glass, so it can be broken. But that glass gets thicker and thicker the higher you go up and up. And at some point, it's going to be made of bedrock. And then you're not going to be breaking shit. I think at this time, at least right now, the AAA gaming space needs a huge overhaul. Personally. I think that a lot of people have become complacent, and a lot of the people that have become complacent have basically become fanboys. And you know how much I like to cover fanboys. And yeah, certainly, some of those fanboys are waking up and saying, oh, what have I done? And there's a lot of just bad turmoil and crap out there. It is just so dumb. And that's like saying that the sky is blue. So, not exactly the hottest of takes. But what is a hot take is this. If you really value the gaming industry and really, really like it to the point of where, regardless of your platform, regardless of your actual fucking views on how this box is better than this box or this thing is better than that, regardless of that, throw all that shit out the window. And if you really like the gaming space, you would want the gaming space to improve. Make sure that you vote with your wallet. That's the one thing that you have control over right now. And if we all do the same thing, absolutely, you can change and shift the whole world. Now, I'm gonna give a quote here from Duckman. And this one was mostly talking about comedy. But I think it's applicable in other aspects as well, and I might also misquote it, so I'm sorry. But the basic quote is that you think that you like this thing because you were told that you should like this thing. And it's meant shit. I probably could just play the clip, but I don't want to get copyright strike. But it's just that you think that you like this. You think that you like him because you were tricked into liking it by King Chicken, who's a character in the show. It's the same way that they sell us car insurance and all this other garbage. Even politicians. It's the idea of something safe and something familiar. But what does that do? Huh? What does it really do? And the ending quote of it is more important. So it's like, basically just, you need to demand to be challenged, to be offended, to be treated like thinking, reasoning adults. And raise your children to do the same. Because you should be able to laugh at whatever you find. Because more than anything, the reason why I critique all these fanboys, the reason why I talk about gaming and with such passion and bravado, the reason why I am so quick to, like, sing praises and also denounce specific things is because right now, in this environment, you just need to have, I don't know, the ability to critically think. The ability to think more than just the surface level. Because if you don't, you end up like the AAA agency. The AAA industry basically said, here, shit on a stick, eat it. And I did. Well, for what felt like years. A long, long time. But when I finally stepped back and looked at what I was eating, I realized it was garbage. And it wasn't healthy for me or my time or really anything. So I stopped. I stopped feeding into this whole shit and left. And I got a PC. And I've never been happier to give my money to smaller projects, to projects that I know might not be the most popular, that I feel deserve my money. Never been happier. But again, that's just me. And I know that everyone has different preferences. If you like the shit sandwich that you've been handed, go ahead, eat it. I will never, ever stop you. But if for a second, you wave away the flies for the 100th time that day, and you go to take another bite, but you stop and think, maybe, just maybe, don't take that other bite. Set it down and really think what it is that you're consuming and eating. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Heck, it's probably going to be one of the more harder things you do in your life. But if everyone did that, don't you think that we would see a lot more change? You know? Demand to be challenged, to be served actual food. Is that not improvement? Recognizing that you are stuck in a stupid fucking pattern of insane things. And then, you know, change it. Whew. This went on for a lot longer than I really wanted it to, and quite frankly, this is not going to be one of my more popular videos. But I'm going to release it on my Tuesday schedule anyway, because, well, oh boy, this is not going to be good. Boy. But I felt like it was necessary to at least talk about it, because I just didn't have a video or anything else prepared this week. So fuck it. We ball. In any case, if you like what it is that I do and want to support me in any way, shape, or form, links to everything down in the description below. You know, to the Twitter, to the Patreon, and to a lot of other things. Overall, is this good for the industry? I mean, I'd say that there's a shift happening. Whether it's good or not is up to the interpretation of the people. me, I think that it's actually really good. That indie games are finally stepping in and filling the void, the gap that has been left by AAA gaming for what I think has been more than at least 10 years at this point. Kind of what happens when you try to rush art. You end up with art that sucks. That's from what I know. Anyway, my name is GamePenguin21. This has been my I Rant into a Microphone for 20-ish minutes thing for the week. And a piece. Off.